Hi, Girlinos. This is going to be my updated tour schedule. I'm on tour. Come see me live. June 26th to the 28th, I'm in Buffalo, New York. July 25th to the 26th, I'm in Nashville, Tennessee. August 29th to the 31st, I'm in Seattle, Washington. And November 14th and 15th, I'm in Richmond, Virginia. Tickets available now on my punch-up link on my bio on my Instagram and TikTok.
If I was a girl, I'd run the city, kissing boys in the street, hiking up my mini. Back in high school, would have been the girl to beat. Football player's number on my cheek, cheating on him with his best friend Pete. Small town moms calling me fast, but I rode him slow in the backseat. It would have been a blast, feeling girly and Shirley. You know all of this is made up, cause I'm just a gay guy who's a little high, feeling a little girly, feeling a little girly.
Welcome to Feelin Girlie. I'm your host, Dylan Carlino. Hi, girls. Hi, my girlinos. Welcome to my tier 1, tier 2 girls of Feelin Girlie. It's just me and Ariel today. Hi, Ariel.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
I'm great.
Oh, you know what I just realized what we could talk about? And I know, by the way, these are a little bit backlogged, so don't get mad at us right now. I'm on tour, so these are being recorded at the beginning of June, although you were probably hearing this at the end of June. But something we didn't talk about at all, because me and Ariel share something, our first thing we ever really talked about when we became kind of friendly, when we recorded our first skit. Remember that day we did a skit? I hate the word skit. Sketch with Josh in that parking garage that we were in for hours. And actually, we never ended up shooting because there were so many issues.
Yeah, that day was scrapped.
That whole day was scrapped. Yeah. But Taylor Swift got her masters back.
Yes.
And we both love Taylor Swift. Yes. And we had nothing. And I can't believe we haven't talked about this yet.
I know.
And I'm sure by now you guys are all like,
it's old news.
It's all old news. But I do just kind of want to talk about it because I do think it's such a big moment for Taylor. I will say, what's your favorite Taylor Swift album?
I'm a big folklore girly and rap.
Oh my God, we are the same. That is so crazy. Yeah. Originally, if you had asked me, obviously before folklore had come out, I would have told you that my favorite album was Rep and Red. I love Red. I think Red's like one of her best works. Red walked so folklore could run.
Really?
I think so. I think it's like,
I never really listened to Red.
Really?
As a Swiftie, I feel like that's weird, but I don't know.
I was thinking about this the other day because I was like, could you imagine listening to the just short version of All Too Well? I mean, I haven't listened to it in years. I'm sure the streaming numbers on the 3-minute All Too Well is like literally non-existent because it's like, why would you ever listen to the 3-minute version if you could listen to the 10-minute version?
That's so funny because I'm like, I don't have the attention span for the 10-minute version.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I run to the 10-minute version. I literally will go on runs and I'll be running to Taylor. I've been a Taylor Swift girl since I've been here since debut, and not some of you bitches jumped in late, okay? But I feel like there's different levels of Taylor Swift fans where it's like you are like me where you were there in debut. I grew up with Taylor, okay? Me and Taylor grew up together. Oh my God, now that I'm saying this, I had a dream last night that I met Taylor, which will happen in my life. I think I'll meet Travis first and then meet Taylor. Well, I think Travis would really like me and like my stand-up.
Where are you meeting him?
Sometimes I picture meeting him at the mothership, like he's in the green room at the mothership.
Do you think he would be
a
place like that?
I don't. Yeah.
Celebrities go there?
Yeah, celebrities go.
Non-comic celebrities?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like who's I mean, yeah. I think Bradley Cooper's been there. I think so I think I shouldn't be outing people at the mothership or whatever, but it's I didn't meet anybody. But I think Travis would really like me. I also think Travis is bisexual. But that's just my own personal thing, and I also think Taylor Swift is kind of gay, but that's none of my business.
I think everyone thinks
I know she's just no way she's not bisexual. I mean, she's so controlling. There's just no way she's not a bisexual girl. But I have a theory. This is mental illness that I believe that feel like because Taylor has to have fake accounts,
probably
that so she can actually enjoy the internet without being under Taylor Swift. I feel like she follows me. I feel like Taylor Swift is a girlino. I really do.
I can see it.
Maybe she doesn't listen to the podcast, but I do think she's seen the If I Was a Girl videos. I 100% think she has. And that's mental illness. But yeah, she got you know what's so annoying about the Taylor Swift fans is because I'm a diehard Taylor Swift fan, but I'm not out here embarrassing myself. You know what I mean? I feel like the girls online embarrass themselves. They're crying, being like, she got her master's back.
Really? I haven't seen any videos like that, but I believe it.
Oh, and I'm like, hey, I have an idea. why don't you do something with your life? And you take all this inspiration from Taylor, who works very, very hard and like gets everything she's ever wanted. And why don't you apply that to your life? Oh, and why don't you try to make something happen other than just being super happy for somebody else's accomplishments? I mean, I'm happy for Taylor. I really am. I'm pissed. I'm not pissed, but I'm like, I really wanted to hear the Reputation vault tracks.
I know. We might still get the vault
I
tracks.
think we will too.
Yeah.
I did make a video being like, and also, yeah, and I want to hear, you have to put out I'd Lie.
I don't know what that is. What is that?
Okay, so I'd Lie this is like, because I've been a fan since debut, there is unreleased Taylor Swift music from debut on YouTube. And it's been there since, like, someone must have leaked it, like, way back in the day or whatever. And she has a song called I'd Lie that's like, he sees everything black and white, never let nobody see him cry. It's so good. It really is. I can't even think of the words right now, but it's like, you know, and if you asked me if I loved him, I'd lie. It's like all about like yearning. It's so good. And I used to like listen to it when I was in high school and just looking at like the straight football players being like, oh my God, I love him so much. He, by the way, wouldn't piss on me if I was on fire on the side of the road. Oh my God. That's the worst part about being gay and closeted in a small town is that you just like have crushes on guys that you're like never going to get, which is fine. Obviously you don't get everything you want in life, but
girls deal with that too. Not to take away from the gay experience.
No, take it away. No, Ariel, take away from the gay experience. Can you give me an example? But like, I know that like the guy cannot be into you, but like there's still it could happen. You know what I mean? Like if you changed your style,
if you had a makeover,
if you have a big makeover, you can get him. You know what I mean? Like there's no makeover that can get me to get him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes I really have to mourn the fact that I just like am never going to have a high school love. I know that sounds so stupid, but I feel like sometimes I feel so jealous of all my friends who got to date in high school. And that I'm 31. It's like, Dylan, why don't you focus on dating now? You know what I mean?
There's something about high school. I feel like whatever traumas you endured in high school, they really stay with you. Like it's such an important developmental time in your life.
People are always like, life isn't high school. Bitch, life is high school. Life is high school. It will always be high school because it was the first time you are out of like adolescence and you're learning social dynamics and how to interact with other people without your parents there. Yeah. So it will follow you until like the literal day you die. And everyone has shit from high school. Yeah. And you know what's awful about high school is that like it's all of ours worst versions of ourselves. Yeah. And then you just have to like live with the rest of your life of like who you were in high school. Yeah. Like sometimes I think about like who I was in high school and I'm like, oh my God, I was so annoying. I was like,
everyone was.
I know, but it's like, I have to like, sometimes I'll be like checking out or like chatting with somebody or whatever. And they'll just like get a flashback of something I did in high school and be like, I want to kill myself. I cannot believe I did that.
I do that too. I feel like there are some people that just never think about that.
They're bad people. Fine. No, they're bad people.
That's
Ariel.
true. They're like sociopaths. Like, not thinking about.
How do you not think about everything you've ever done in your child? I mean, like I don't think
that's normal though.
You really?
I do it, but I don't think. I think it's OCD.
Or
like ruminating.
Oh, I ruminate. I do
too.
I'm like it's constant circle thoughts. Oh, I'm thinking in loops constantly.
Me too. It's exhausting.
It really is exhausting. I'll think myself into a loop to a point where I'm like committing crimes as a child, and I'm like, wait, Dylan.
Yeah.
And like,
did I do that?
Yeah. 100%. It's so the intrusive thoughts and the thinking in the loops, and like, I mean, I spent years thinking the same thoughts, and then I remember one day I had this like breakthrough where I was like, Dylan, none of that happened. Like I had this fear for like years that I was going to jail.
Oh my God.
That the police were like coming to get me. Probably because I like jerked off on Omegle with predators when I was 16. And did you ever do that? Were you ever on Omegle?
I was scared of Omegle when I was younger.
I was on Omegle, like literally camera covered, being like, hi, my name's Ashley. I'm 19. I go to NYU. As I say on stage, sometimes not too dissimilar to what I'm doing on the internet now, but just for a different audience. And I would just like talk to like 40-year-old dads while they were like jerking off. And
that's crazy. ADHD.
I know, and I was
Not to shame you.
No, I mean,
I'm
like,
shaming the
listen,
the
I think
40-year-olds.
this is. I heard this once online. They were like, when like you're a gay kid ostracized in the closeted, trying to figure out your sexuality, it's like you can't talk to anybody about it. You go to like very dark places to kind of figure that out. Where it's like, yeah, it's like I can't talk to anybody. I'm 15. I'm insanely horny. I guess I'll talk to the dad jerking off on Omegle. You know what I mean? Like, it's
Did you
like,
guys talk?
oh, I used to
also?
do it all the time.
Like, so they would jerk off, but you would also like talk to them?
And they'd be like dirty talk.
Oh,
I actually, that's how I became so good at like dirty talking, because I was like constantly on there. But then I for years was like, I'm going to go to jail because of what I did on Omegle. And then for years. And then I had to remind myself, I was like, Dylan, you were 15. Like, it's like, it's actually, you're actually literally not. And you were talking to adults who, by the way, probably knew you were 15 and didn't care. And so then that's something where I'm just like, well, is this so dark? By the way, how did we get from like, I think Taylor Swift follows me to I thought I was going to jail for jerking off on Omegle? I mean, like this, what other podcast is giving you this?
We both have ADHD and OCD. So
I know.
This is what happens.
Genuinely, I know the ADHD. I mean, I know I have ADHD. Everybody who's listening to this knows that I have ADHD because I get comments being like, please get medicated. But like, I hate, this is something about me that it's like so annoying. Like the minute everybody else is like, I have ADHD and they're talking about it, I'm like, I don't have it anymore. I don't have it anymore. If you have it, if these bitches around me are constantly talking like, well, as someone who struggles with ADHD, I'm like, well, I don't have it then.
Yeah, you're like, I'm special, so only
I'm like, okay. It's just annoying when everybody's like, it's the same thing when like your favorite musical artist, everybody starts to love. That's what's like so great about Taylor Swift, is because like no matter how many people love her, so many people hate her that you can never like be too comfortable in your fandom. You know what I mean? Like, I love Taylor Swift. I know there's millions of girls who love Taylor Swift, but I also have gotten into fights about for Taylor Swift, and I'm not annoying about it. I really am not. I don't like sit around and go like, oh, I'm looking for a fight with Taylor Swift, and I let a lot of things slide when my straight male friends start talking about her. Whatever. I feel like with Taylor Swift, I'm the same way how I was when I was a manager at Massage Envy, which is like, don't make me do my job. Like, let me be the fun boss. Let me be cool. This is how I feel about Taylor. I just am a fan. I'm just a fan. But if you're going to sit there and you're going to disrespect her, well, then bitch, it's game on. Because now I have to defend my girl. You know, that's how I got into a fight with the drummer from Green Day about Taylor Swift at work. Okay. But yeah, I've been listening to a lot of Taylor Swift. What is that about? I know this is like such a big Taylor Swift episode, but yeah, I think it's cool. She got her master's back. I'm sad about Rep TV, and
I don't think it would have been as good as the OG.
There's no way.
It honestly worked out.
I like that she said she didn't even record a quarter of it.
I thought that was funny because there were so many people, including me,
being
like, oh, it's coming out soon.
Yeah,
it's done. No.
I mean, think about that though. I mean, like that album was the beginning of her relationship with Joe, and I'm not huge into diving into Taylor's relationships. Those are like literally, I have a big feeling like that's none of my business, and I actually think that fans trying to like I don't even know the word to use because I'm like uneducated, but I am, but like fans who like obsess about celebrities like Taylor's relationships, for example, and like dive in deep and making up theories and talking about her love life in like a way that feels masturbatory and also like inappropriate to me. I think that you're the reason we get less good music. Like with Phoebe Bridgers, like I think if I got to meet Phoebe Bridgers, my first question to her would be, do you ever feel, because of how people speculate about your relationships, that you can't put out certain songs? Because I'm sure these artists are writing like some of the most beautiful songs, and then they're like, I can't put this out. I don't want to put it out because then everybody's going to rip it apart. So it's like those fans are like the reasons we don't get, I personally think, some incredible music. And that breaks my heart. And because I actually don't care who Taylor dates. Like Taylor, I think I do like that her and Travis are together. I think that
it's cute.
It feels to me like a very like
it makes sense.
It makes sense for the first time ever. But I mean, I was thinking about rap and being like, that is probably such a personal album for her. Like worst time of her career. People were attacking her every single day. She went into hiding while she was also falling in love with a man that she broke up with after a 7-year relationship 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. I couldn't do that. A year, no matter who you're in love with, there's no way she's not still like maybe looking out the window and being like, fucking Joe.
Right.
You know what I mean? I wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah.
You know what one of my favorite songs is? And not just speculate. Taylor is very good about though being like, I'm still putting out the music. Like it is like, have you ever heard her? It's like it was like a single after but You're Losing Me.
Yes. Yeah.
That song, I run to that song too. I only run to like sad music with
you
upbeat.
like sad music.
Oh my god,
I can't. I listen
really
to like upbeat, like I don't know, like happy, like bubbly pop music.
No,
because I'm really a sad person.
Yeah.
So I need the pick me up.
Really? No, I'm like on a run, and when I hear I'm the best thing at the party and you're losing me, and I wouldn't marry me either, a pathological people pleaser.
Yeah,
I literally, if you think I'm like, don't run fast because I'm 6'5". I start running so fast, it's actually sick. Like that line of I wouldn't marry me either. Now that gets me because I'm a midnight rain girl. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, oh, I'm like in my mind, I'm like tortured.
Tortured Poets Department.
I know there's so many cuts I would make on that album, but
Really?
What's great about Taylor, and I explain this to people who don't even like her, like Cap, who was on the podcast. She's not like a Taylor Swift head, and that's fine because I always go, she'll get you. Like most girls, there are millions of girls right now who never thought they would be Taylor Swift fans, and then Folklore came out, and it's like Taylor Swift is like I don't even know, like is it like a dog whistle? Like once you hear it and once it makes sense, it's like. And then everything makes sense, and you can hear all of the music. It's so fun to watch, and I never feel resentment about those girls because I'm always like, welcome. You know what I mean? Like it really feels like you drink the Kool-Aid, and then you're like, all of a sudden you're like, oh my god, I get it. And with Taylor, you can't get it until you get it. Yeah. Some of us got it during debut.
I got it during Speak Now in high school. I remember for me.
Yeah. I also hate to be like this. This is the last thing I'll say about Taylor is. I think that one of my things in life that I'm really good at is recognizing patterns because I remember when Speak Now came out, I was in high school as well. And I remember thinking, we were driving at my friend Jackie's dad's truck and we were listening to Taylor and they were all talking about Taylor. And I remember thinking Taylor Swift is a marketing genius because every couple of years, the minute you start thinking, I haven't heard a new Taylor Swift song come out. Boom, it would come out. And I recognized her pattern very early on of putting out albums. And I was like, wow, that's, yeah.
She's smart.
Yeah, she's so smart. But we can't talk about Taylor the whole episode.
We could.
By the way, we could, but everybody's tuning out. And if you're listening to this going like, I don't like Taylor. Well, guess what, bitch?
Too bad.
Yeah, too bad. I had something else I was going to say, but now I can't. Oh, maybe we could do a fun little, oh my God, sorry. I guess my girl of the week, since we're talking about music, somebody asked me yesterday how I felt about Sabrina Carpenter. And I was like, I like Sabrina Carpenter, but I'm like, I wouldn't jump in front of a car for Sabrina Carpenter. And they're like, who would you jump in front of a car for? And I was like, Maggie Rogers. And the girls, they loved that answer. They're like, she was like, I feel like Maggie kind of fell off. And I was like, don't make me do this to you. I was like, when you get off here, listen to In the Living Room and listen to If Now Is Then. I'm looking at my on repeat songs. I would say, you know what? I'll say this. She does not need this from me, but I'm going to give to Girlie of the Week. I'm going to give it to Lizzie McAlpine because I've been listening to Spring into Summer a lot. And I really like Lizzie. And I think, I like that she created Ceilings and then it was like, I'm actually way more than that. And she's kind of just proving that over and over again. Also, Your Smith is coming out with new music and Peaches is so good. Have you ever listened to Your Smith? You should listen to Your Smith. It's upbeat. It's fun. It's like it's a vibe. But she has like really beautiful lyrics as well. Your Smith. And yeah, she also like left the music industry and like opened up a restaurant and had a baby. And now she's like putting out new music. She's like young. She's like our age. And so I like her story and I would like to see her live. I never got to see her live.
People like that, like she's already done so much, and then I look at myself and I'm like, what the fuck, you know? That's
not true. You've done so much too. Don't do that to yourself.
Sorry, you're right.
No, you've moved around. Don't be self-deprecating. You're an incredible artist, guys. If you don't, what's your Instagram? What's your Ariel Luveris? I'm gonna add you to the bio Feelin Girlie too, so that like, and I'm gonna post it on my story, your pictures, because
You don't have
people
to. You've
know
done that before. It's okay.
I know I want people to follow you because Ariel is such an incredible artist, and you guys really should be commissioning photos of her, for her to paint, because you literally would be like drop dead, like, oh my god, I can't believe how good this girl is. She's an incredible artist, and so don't ever put yourself down like that.
Thank you for hyping me up. You're right.
Of course, Ariel also went to the eye doctor today, and she said that the eye doctor was really hot.
Actually, Josh is the one that said that.
Yeah.
And then I agreed. But yeah, he was. So there's
that.
hot tatted eye doctors in Austin.
I know that. Oh god. Okay, sorry. I just got an email that I don't want to read. Oh my god. I will say just before this, I did open up Reddit and look up girl problems, and that's what we're going to do. We'll do one girl problem for today because I thought it was kind of fun. Okay. But I wanted to say, I said yesterday on, I know last week for you guys, that Elizabeth Gilbert started following me.
Oh yeah, who was that again?
She wrote Eat, Pray, Love.
Oh right, yeah.
So I messaged her because I couldn't help myself. I love her so much. And I was like, first I went into our messages, and I actually had messaged her in 2018, this really long thank you. And so I had to delete that and before she saw it. And then I sent her a thing much shorter, and was just wanted to say thank you. Because when I was 23 and over 400 pounds, I was really depressed. I was like going through it. I was like going through food addiction. I was like really, really heavy. I was drinking every single day. And I was like, listened to a podcast with Elizabeth Gilbert, and she talked about how in her depression, what she would do. So she like couldn't stop crying. And what she did one day, every single day she'd come home and she would just cry on her couch in the exact same spot. And every single day after work, I would just sit in my room and just like stare at the wall. And it was like everything had gone gray in my life. And she said, so one day, she got up while crying and then stood on one foot and cried. And as stupid as it sounds, she's like, things change. You know, like she made, like she, and she, you know what I mean? Like she got up and she did something different is what she was saying. And I listened to this whole podcast, and it was like for the first time in like a year I had been inspired, and I like walked into my room, and it was like everything in my room was like gray and depression mode and really sad. I was like 22 at the time, 23. And I just like had a burst of energy for the first time, and like ripped apart my entire room, cleaned everything, like did all my laundry, did everything, got all the trash out of my room, and was like, oh my God, like things do change. And then I was like, God, I was like, oh, I read all of her books. She like helped me so much. And then I saw a post on Instagram, like back in the day, Instagram, when you actually saw people's fucking posts. And now it's just reels. God forbid you post. God forbid I post my tour poster and it gets 16 likes and I have 600,000 followers, but whatever. So annoying. And she was going to be in my hometown. I'm from a small town in Massachusetts. Well, one town over from my hometown, a 5-minute drive, on my birthday. And I was like, if this is, and the tickets were like $600 for this creativity shop for the weekend. And I was like, I didn't have $600. I was working at a gas station at the time. I literally think I was making $9.50 an hour. And I was like, oh, I wish I could go to this. That was in December. My mom doesn't have money either. Now she does, but like, not like money, but like we were like poor back then. You know what I mean? And my mom bought me the tickets for Christmas. Aww. And so that on my birthday I went, and it was me in a room with like 300 middle-aged women. And by the way, all of us bursting into tears crying, doing like shamanism work. I'm like a 400-pound, 23-year-old gay kid. And it like broke me open. That weekend broke me open. Elizabeth had like left her marriage to be with her best friend who had just been diagnosed with cancer, and her best friend partner was there as well, and she was very, very sick, and she was like an ex-drug addict, Ray Elias, and she testified her entire life to us and all of the bad things she ever did and how she changed and all this amazing work, which Elizabeth, funny enough, is actually just wrote a book and is coming out with the story of her partner's death this year. And so that was May of 2017. And at this point I had been like very depressed. I had started losing weight at this point. Cause that 6 months period between like getting the tickets, I was kind of like moving through the world. And I was like, I've been doing comedy for 2 years. I was like, I really need to get out of my small town, but I felt so stuck in my small town, and I didn't know how to get out because it's literally all I had ever known. We didn't really go anywhere. We never went on vacations. I thought I was going to be 18 years old and like move to New York City and get it, and it just didn't happen. I got stuck with me and my friends drinking in a town that didn't even have a gas station. And you know what I mean? I was like living with my friend's mom for $150 a month, smoking cigarettes inside. Like it's like, you know, it was bad inside. Me and her mom would smoke cigarettes inside, and I was, you know, whatever. And so that weekend with her broke me open, and I got like another job, and I worked my ass off for 6 months, and I came up with a plan to move to Portland. And then November 1st, exactly 6 months later, I packed up all my stuff and I moved to Portland, and I had like lost a bunch of weight, had like got my shit together, I had saved like $4,000. That's all and moved across the country. Didn't know a single person in Portland. And that changed my life forever. And so I didn't say all that to Elizabeth, obviously. I just said, like, you know, I was at your creativity seminar in 2017 with Rhea, and it changed my life, and blah, blah, blah. And she did message me back this morning. And yeah, because she follows me. So I was and she was like, I was like, you know, to pursue being a stand-up comedian, and it worked. So I just want to say thank you, and I can't wait to read, you know, all the upcoming books. And she messaged me back, and she was like, you're a literal genius. And she's like, I'm so happy to know you and your work. And I was like, oh my God. It was like a full circle moment for me. I know. I was like, wow. Because my whole goal in life is to like have dinner with Elizabeth Gilbert and David Sedaris. Those are like the people I want to hang out with. David Sedaris.
Who's that?
He's a comedic writer. He's like an older gay man. He's very, very funny. I've read all of his books. But yeah, so let's do girl talk. But that's my little Elizabeth Gilbert story.
I can't even imagine how amazing that must feel.
It was like crazy. Well, my life is like insane now. I went from like, I want people to realize, just so you guys are aware of like where I was. I mean, it's June. 6 months ago, I was on unemployment for a restaurant job that ended in July of last year. And so it's like, it's been... I've been like waiting tables. I mean, I was literally doing comedy here in Austin, waking up at 5:30 in the morning, waiting tables from 6 to 2 every single day, going home, napping, working out, then going out doing spots until midnight, 1 a.m., and then waking up at 5:30. And I did that for 2.5 years. And then the restaurant closed. And then I was on unemployment, and I was depressed for 6 months. And then in January, the unemployment was running out, and I was like, I gotta figure out how to make money. And so I was like, I'm gonna put everything into social media. And now 6 months later, here we are. But I like, sometimes I think about that. I'm like, I literally went from being on unemployment in January was my last unemployment, and now I'm like, things have changed. And I'm so grateful that you guys watch this and share the videos, because it really is because of you guys, you know, watching it all. So yeah, thank you. But so don't get too comfortable, bitch, though. I'm not going to be nice every single time. This is like a kind of a sweet episode. What are we at time-wise?
26.
Oh my God, that's great. We'll do a girl talk from Reddit. So I looked up Reddit and I said, well, because, you know, we didn't have any emails. Girls did. We got 12 emails in the last, 12 hours. So we have good things. But I thought we'll do some like Reddit girl problem stuff, because that seems like fun, because you guys think you're bad. These girls are bad. There was one that I thought was really, really good. Oh, love this. This one's called Boyfriend Watching Stepson Porn.
Oh my God.
Yeah, whoa, crazy. Okay. I noticed a pattern of my boyfriend watching a lot of stepson, stepmom porn, etc. And I confronted him finally. He did admit it was the role play that gets him off. He's never had a stepmom. Yeah, no shit. You know what I mean? By the way, nobody's watching step parent porn and being like thinking of their own step parent. It's like the idea of it. Right. He was basically a sugar baby at 18. But he has slept with older women before. He's basically a sugar baby at 18. I hold space for fantasies and watching porn occasionally, but this specific throws me off a little. Looking for feedback. Should I be wary or just not care? There's only a 2-year age difference between us, and I'm younger. When I watch porn or masturbate, I think of us having sex, or watch porn of men that resemble him and his dick. Oh my God. I think that's crazy.
Yeah.
I think it's like literally doesn't matter, and you're trying to control your boyfriend's fantasies, which seems like very strange to me. And I think that the fact that when you watch porn, you try to find guys that look like your boyfriend or his dick is like, sweetheart, do whatever you want, but like you could just masturbate to yourself. I don't understand that.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then someone commented, your boyfriend watching porn is a red flag, period. This is weird, especially if you guys already have sex. Tell him to stop watching porn. I will agree that I do think most men are watching too much porn because, and girls are talking about how like some of their boyfriends can't even get hard because they're watching too much porn and they're addicted to porn. And that's a real issue. But like not watching porn, I mean, like, don't be crazy. I also just think that like sexually, and this is what I talk about all the time that gets me into trouble, which by the way, I wonder if like the girls ever look back at my Subway takes last year and if they realize it's me, because I got flamed in the comments for my Subway takes because I don't think I explained it super well, because I said I did Subway takes and I did I will quickly say about my Subway takes, if you haven't seen it, you do like hot takes on the Subway if you haven't seen it.
Okay. I was like, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's like a famous thing in New York, and I did it. And originally my thing was going to be men aren't allowed to be bi. And then Alec Flynn, not bisexual straight man, did it the day before I was doing it, and which is just kind of like, are you bi? Shut your mouth. You know, he's a sweet little, but he kind of plays into, I love Alec, but he plays into like, oh, maybe I'm bi for followers. Yeah. But he is hot, so give them that. And he's a nice guy, but he's not bi. And but guys love him. He's like handsome, and he's like young with like gray hair too, which like that always does something to everybody. Yeah. But I know him because we did Netflix as a joke together. And so I was like, fuck, I have to come up with a new one. And so I did Sex is for Men and Love is for Women. And what I was trying to say with that was that men and women are horny in different ways. And what I was really trying to say was like, men will get into romantic relationships with women to have consistent sex, and women will have sex to get into romantic relationships. Not all the time, but I was saying that. What I've now evolved in, I would say it differently, which is like, I don't think that men and women are horny in the same way, nor do I think that they take out their desires in the same way. Like women, I think a lot of women have a problem with porn, and like they don't understand why men have to watch it, and they don't have to watch it actually. So that I said that wrong. Why they want to watch it, and it's like because men are much more visually sexual than women are. Women are much more mentally, like women get off on like the scenario or the story or like what could happen. That's why women love like suspense and lingering touches and the build up. Men want to see a guy with a dick put it into a vagina. Like it's like me like sex. You know what I mean? Like women are like, I think women are more evolved sexually. They need like a backstory, which I think is incredible. Men are like,
we're just more complex. I mean,
you are, it was socialized female. I have both. You know what I mean? I love the backstory, but also I'm like, me want to see someone suck cock. You know what I mean? Like it just is how it is. Don't get mad at me for that. But yeah, your guy's gonna watch porn. Now I think that if your man is watching too much porn and he can't get hard, that's a whole other issue. Oh my God, this one says boyfriend on Grindr. Hi, let's read this one.
What did it say?
This is boyfriend on Grindr. God, we should do more Reddit girls.
I know.
We should call a segment. Shout out to the Reddit girls. Okay. This one says boyfriend on Grindr. Hi guys, I'm really lost. I'm sure on what to do, and I need someone to try and make me see sense, or even tell me if I should stop worrying. Okay, if your boyfriend's on Grindr, you definitely have something to worry about. My boyfriend has recently told me he has a Coca-Cola addiction. I hope someone knows what that means. Oh, he's doing Coke.
Okay, just Coke.
And I've been putting my everything into supporting him and trying to help him. I went on his phone today and found him on Grindr. For those who may not know, that's a gay dating site. Thanks, sweetheart.
Oh yeah, it's gay. I forgot that it was exclusively gay. Right.
Really, you didn't realize that?
I just kind of associated it with Tinder. Like,
oh my God, no.
Specifically gay.
If you would not be safe on there. You would not, even with gay men. It's not a safe place for girls. I'm actually in my news hour on the road. I'm now explaining how Grindr works because it's so different from. Because if you've never opened up Grindr, I'll tell you, because you probably never opened it up, right? So on your, when you would go on a dating app, you like swipe right or swipe left. Grindr's not like that. I'll show you what Grindr looks like.
It just shows you the location, right?
No. So this is Grindr. So this guy's the closest guy to me, and then every guy afterwards is just how far the next guy is. So the closest guy to me right now is 728 feet away.
Oh my God. Should I blur that out, or do you think it's fine?
You blur it out. The next guy after that is 3,588 feet away. then 4,531 feet away. So it tells you, and so you just slide, and it just every guy is a little bit further away, and so it's for really scary sex. Okay. I went on his phone today and I found him on Grindr. I obviously got upset about this, but he told me he was only on it because he was deleting his account and as he was only using it when he was taking Coca-Cola. I don't know whether to believe that or accept the fact that it's just linked to the drug, or he's just lying to me. He told me he's not into any of that and he was just curious, and he's 100% straight. I'm very confused and don't know what to believe. So what I will say is a huge part about Grindr is it's a great place to do drugs and have sex. There are guys every day actively looking to do drugs and have sex. On there, it's called Party and Play, PNP. If I ever see anybody party and playing, I get blocked because a lot of times they're not actually doing coke, they're smoking meth, and it's very, very scary. And I'm always like, I'm sober, so I'm always like, unless you're sober, there's a good chance I'm not coming over. And I've had even guys be like, oh, I'm kind of drunk, and I make them send me voice memos, 1 to hear what their voice sounds like, and then 2 to hear if they sound drunk. And if they sound drunk, I'm not coming over. But he's probably bi, because also like you can just get coke somewhere else, and he's probably doing coke with these guys and then like jerking off with them. I'll tell you this, nobody's just doing drugs off Grindr. You know what I mean? Like he might be doing coke with these men, but he's snorting off their cocks. You know what I mean? Like, so just be aware, if your boyfriend's on Grindr, it's never just for drugs. But also that goes back to my original, what my subject takes was going to be, which is men are not allowed to explore their sexuality because the stigma of being gay will follow you for the rest of your life. I mean, even if they want to be curious and they suck a dick one time, forever they are a guy who sucked dick. And if they ever tell anybody, every woman and straight guy in his life is like, he's secretly gay, he sucked a dick. Because you have to fully know, and God forbid you're like a little bit on the scale of wanting to try something and you do it, it will never go away from you. So I understand why men, because the truth of the reality is, like, being gay for men and women is a different stigma. It just is. Unfortunately for women, them being gay is sexualized by men. So there's a whole other complex issues when it comes to that. But yeah, men who are straight and want to experiment, they have no agency to actually do it without the fear of it coming out and ruining their lives, because the truth of the matter is, like, it doesn't go away. And if people find out that you did this, and women, I say this all the time, you girls are amazing. A lot of times women are the most supportive friends to their gay friends. And then when they find out that their boyfriends did something a little bit gay, they're like, what'd the fudge packer say? You know what I mean? They get mean quick. Okay. Let's move over to, we have a couple of emails to do that I think will be super fun. And then that's it for our Reddit girls. But I like the Reddit girls segment. I think it's fun. They're kind of short, quick, but okay. Okay, so this one is called Single After 13.5 Years. Hi, Dylan. I love your stories and they make me laugh my ass off. I found out about 6 months ago that my husband was having an affair with the woman he works with. Whoa, classic. I feel like guys love to cheat at work because you're not there. That's why you have to get a job at your husband's job. This all started after I gave birth to our first and only child. Yeah, men are, you know, the spike of cheating goes up so high when the girl gets pregnant.
That's insane.
I know.
What is that about?
I don't. Men are animals. I don't know. It's so scary. I was always hesitant about having children because I'm very body conscious and I love being hot. My pregnancy made me feel absolutely disgusting and I would never do it again. I gained 40 pounds, which took about a year to lose, in which time I felt very poorly about myself. Long story short, I found out he was fucking a coworker for months on end and denied the whole thing. That part hurts the most. It's like I feel like there was more emotional than it was physical. Yeah, because then they're going to work every single day and they're like chatting and getting each other coffee and yeah. You're like in Siberia raising a child and your husband gets to have like a new fling at work. Right. If I was a new mom and my husband did that, I would show up at work with the baby on my hip.
Literally.
Oh my God, baby on my hip. Where is she? Do you want to hold my baby while I go talk to my husband? I mean, you're fucking him. So do you want one of these? Oh my God. After I had our baby, we would have sex regularly because I would beg him for sex. He says he wasn't able to come, and this went on for a year. Oh, because he was coming at work.
Oh my God.
He already came for the day. Yeah. for the day. Sometimes you can only get one. I was super relieved to find out that him not being able to come was in my mind due to the affair and feeling guilty and otherwise a scheme he was plotting for grounds to ask for divorce. I was super glad to know that it wasn't due to me being a loose after having baby, even though I delivered via C-section. The loose thing is also like not fully real. Also, you had a C-section, so how would you have been loose? I mean, that's not women. But you know what? That's the other thing is like women are so shamed for their bodies, not only about like weight and what they look like. Also, it's like then you have a baby and then your pussy's loose. It's like there's no winning when you're a win. It's so fucked up. And it's like, by the way, it's like he should be so lucky. He did that to you.
Yeah.
And don't go and get your fucking vag snatched up, okay? That's mutilation. Unless you really want it and then you can have it. But I mean, like, come on. Yeah, when like husbands are like, they do like the husband stitch or whatever.
I recently heard about that. Yeah, I was like, that's
it's sick.
Crazy. Yeah.
I know. Although if I was a girl, I'd get the husband stitch. I know it's wrong. I'd be like, my man wants me tight. Listen, we have to laugh. Okay, after I found out, I thought my life was over and got very depressed and anxious and lost about 10 pounds, which gave me body of my dreams. Yeah. You're sick just like me. Okay, I love that. I poured all of my energy and money into myself and self-care. Now I feel very good in my own body, but I feel guilty for wanting to go out and fuck random men that I meet on dating apps. I want to be a good mom, but being a good mom means that you get to live a full life and you deserve to be sexually free. Go fuck random men with dicks bigger than your ex-husband's. Jesus Christ. And honestly, you should fuck a guy and like kind of take a pic of you fucking him and then accidentally send it to your ex. I want to be a good mom, but I feel like that constant rejection from him makes me feel... I want to be a good mom, but I feel like the constant rejection from him makes me need to fulfill this urge to be fucked by strangers who think I'm a hot little MILF. I met a guy with an enormous dick on Tinder, and I fucked him, but he didn't make me come and haven't been able to meet up with him since. Well, why are you trying to meet? He couldn't make you come. There's other guys. I'm sure you are hot. I can tell by the way you're writing this that you are actually hot, so don't even worry about it. She didn't put pictures in, but I wish she did. You guys know you need to start putting pictures in. Then there was this other man who I thought was absolutely great, but he was almost 50, so I think there might have been a little bit of a performance issue there, and also I was not able to come, and then he ghosted me. Do I continue to get my brains fucked out, or should I just listen to my inner conscience and not go through this hoe phase? P.S. I was a virgin before I met my husband. Oh my God. You have to go through the toe phase. You're an incredible mom. Your husband had an affair. Your husband was having an affair while you were pregnant with your child. Okay. And so you finally got the body that you like. And everyone's allowed to like their body at whatever stage. She likes to be skinny, and that's great. You're skinny. You're not loose. Go out. Fuck men. But your husband knew how to make you come. You need to make sure that you're being vocal with these men about what makes you come. If that's more foreplay, if that's making sure they take longer, taking their time before they just stick it in you. I mean, I just want you to know you deserve to have a fulfilled, fun sex life. Have your hoe phase. If you don't, you know this, you're never going to regret having a hoe phase. You will regret not having one. You're never going to look back and be like, oh, wow, I really wish I didn't fuck those guys with huge dicks who made me come in the library or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? Like, you should be wearing skirts with no underwear, letting guys fuck you wherever you want. Genuinely, that's how I feel. Okay, your husband fucked you over. You should be allowed to do whatever you want. Ariel, what do you think?
I agree.
Yeah, Ariel agrees too. You need to have a hoe phase. You were a virgin. How your husband took your virginity, made you have a baby, fucked his coworker, and then wouldn't fuck you for a year. Oh my God, you need to be getting fucked. I wish you put in pictures because I know you're hot. Yeah. I know you're hot and I know you're cool, and you need to start hanging out with your girlfriends. And you know what? Start fucking your girlfriend's husband's friends. They know how to fuck, and you'll feel a little bit more safe doing it. Go out, have a good time, and you know what? Make sure have these guys send you pictures of their dicks before you fuck them, so that you know you're not wasting your time. Honest to God, and like go out and like when you're on Tinder swiping. You're not doing, you never do that thing. I don't know if you ever use dating apps, but sometimes you like see a guy and you go, I'll give him a chance. No, don't give anybody a chance on Tinder. I want you to go on Tinder, and unless you are like dying to fuck the guy in the picture, do not swipe right. Swipe right only on guys that you are like, I would die to fuck this guy, and then go out and do it. I want you to have the best time of your life. Having sex with hot guys will never make you a bad mom. Now, if you neglect your child to get fucked, that makes you a bad mom. That's not what you're doing. You're trying to get a little bit of dick once a week. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. And maybe I have an idea. Why don't your fucking husband and his coworker take care of the baby for a week? How about that?
Yeah.
That's all I have to say. What are we at time-wise?
43.
43?
Yeah.
Okay, should we move over to the Patreon?
Yeah.
I would love to stay longer, but we have some really good emails for the Patreon, and I really appreciate it. And all the other ones have pictures, so if you want to hear more, you're gonna have to sign up for the Patreon, feelingirlie.com/patreon.com. And I have to go to the bathroom, so I'm gonna go pee, and we're gonna go move over to the Patreon. Love you guys. Bye.